Over the past few weeks, quite a bit of information about LEGO Star Wars 2025 sets has been surfacing and leaking, and if you remember, I've actually already made a few videos covering this stuff, but those videos were pretty sporadic and pretty unorganized because I was making them as the leaks were surfacing. Like, I would post one video covering leaks, and then an hour later more leaks would come out, and then I would make a video on those leaks. So today I'm making this video to kind of sum it all up and put all the information in one place, and also because since I've made those 3 videos, more information has actually came out. So in today's video, I'm just going to be covering everything that we know so far. Now, hopping right into it, starting off with the January 2025 wave, we are getting 6 sets, and these are pretty much confirmed to be true. There are little things that might change between now and then, such as a price or a piece count, but for the most part, we are pretty much confident on what the identity of these sets are going to be. And hopping right into it, the first set in the January 2025 wave is going to be 75401 Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor with 290 pieces and a retail price of $45. Now, yes, as everyone has been saying, $45 is pretty outrageous for this set, but thinking optimistically, we only know a few things about this set, literally just the price and the piece count and the identity, obviously, and because the price is pretty high, I'm hoping that it will be similar to Anakin's Jedi Interceptor from 2012, which was $40 and came with 2 side builds as well as 5 minifigures, so I'm really hoping that there is going to be a good number of minifigures in this set, at least 5, to justify that price point. The only figures I can think of off the top of my head that might be in this set are obviously Ahsoka and her astromech droid, but I also think that there's actually a pretty strong possibility we might see a new Asajj Ventress minifigure in this set, because Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor only appeared in 1 episode of the Clone Wars in season 5, and within that season there were quite a few episodes with Ahsoka and Asajj Ventress sort of interacting with each other and having an arc together, and I think because of that there is a high chance that we could see a new Asajj Ventress figure in this set. And then on top of that, to justify the price point, I hope there is at least 2 more minifigures and maybe even a side build, but if it only has 3 minifigures being Ahsoka, an astromech droid, and Asajj Ventress or someone else, that's going to be really disappointing and make a lot of people upset, including myself, because $45 for a small starfighter and just those 3 figs is absolutely ridiculous. I don't care about inflation, I don't care what year it is, that is too overpriced. Also, not to mention the fact that the playset Interceptor next year is going to be Ahsoka's might be a little indication for or set up that the May UCS set is going to be Anakin and Obi-Wan Jedi Interceptors. I'm really hoping that's true, but I don't want to get my hopes up yet. Anyways, the next set in the January wave is the set that everyone is waiting for, being 75402 ARC 170 Starfighter with 497 pieces and a retail price of $70 US. And there are some sources out there claiming that this one is going to come with new Phase 2 clone pilots, which I mean is kind of a given. They haven't made a Phase 2 pilot in almost 10 years, so I mean, I'd assume they'd be new pilots anyway. But with that being said, I really hope it comes with 3 of them to fill all 3 cockpits, because the 2010 model only came with 2 and Kit Fisto, and I never really liked how you had to put Kit Fisto in one of the cockpits. It was just weird to me, so I hope this one comes with 3, and on top of that, some other figures, who knows, maybe a few battle droids, or if they throw in a random Jedi like they did in the 2010 model, I think Plo Koon would work really well in this set as well. Now, as for the price and piece count goes, I'm actually pretty surprised to see that it looks like it's going to be a pretty decent deal. The last ARC 170 in 2010 had 396 pieces for $60, and this one has 497 pieces for $70, so about 100 more pieces and about $10 more. I think that sounds pretty good. Now, yes, I know LEGO is most likely going to downscale this, and it will be significantly smaller than the other 2 ARC 170 models, which does make me a bit nervous, but on top of that, I'm still expecting it to look good. Most of the downscaled sets recently have been really good builds with lots of detail, so I'm really not expecting anything less with this, although the only problem, and again, the reason I said that I'm nervous, is because it might have 100 more pieces in the 2010 model, although at the same time, it might not feel like it is worth $10 more, but I guess we'll just have to see. And then next up for the January wave is 75403 Buildable Grogu with his Pram with 1,048 pieces and a retail price of $100. And a lot of people have been hating on this set, 1 because it's not an episode 3 set, and 2 because we've already gotten a Buildable Grogu in recent years. And the first thing I have to say is, yes, 2025 is the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith, but at the same time, you're kind of brain dead if you're really thinking that every single set next year is going to be based off of episode 3. I mean, you gotta look at other anniversary years, like last year at the Phantom Menace, we only got like 5 sets. So theoretically this year for episode 3, if I were you, I would not expect more than 5 or 6 episode 3 sets. So with that being said, I'm fine that LEGO is making this because the last Buildable Grogu did not include his Pram, and I'm honestly pretty interested to see how they're gonna end up doing it. I think it's gonna be a great display piece, and I hope it has a cool functionality where the Pram itself can open and close like seen in The Mandalorian, and I'm also curious to see if Grogu himself is going going to be able to be removed from the Pram, or if it's all going to be one build and he's not going to be removable. But still, like I said, I'm fine with LEGO making this. It might not be the set that a lot of people were really expecting or really wanted, but at the same time, I think it has a lot of potential. Next up for the January wave, we have two Midi-Scale sets that I am very excited for. The first one actually being a Midi-Scale Acclamator 75404 with 450 pieces and a retail price of $50 US. Now, when I first saw this leak, it literally came out of nowhere. It surprised me so much, but I was very happy to see it. A lot of people were expecting a Midi-Scale Venator, and some people are kind of disappointed we're getting an Acclamator instead of that, but I always kind of felt that a Midi-Scale Venator wasn't going to happen anytime soon because of the UCS model. I personally just don't think that LEGO would have two 18+ Venators on shelves at the same time, so when the UCS model retires, I do think we'll see a Midi-Scale one, but as for now, I am not surprised at all to see that we are not getting a Venator in 2025. But back to this Acclamator, it's going to have 450 pieces and be $50 US, so I imagine it'll probably be about the same size as the Invisible Hand from last year, which was also $50. Now, there are two different ways they can go with this set. One is the original all-gray Acclamator that is seen in episode 2 on Geonosis, and the other being the Clone Wars variant that has the red stripes on it as well as the Republic Navy logos, and I'm honestly fine with either or, although I do think a Clone Wars one would probably look a bit better because it wouldn't just be all gray, and at the same time, the Venator from last year was based off of the Clone Wars, so I think there's a high chance this one will be based off the Clone Wars too. Although with that being said, there are some rumors that I'm going to talk about here in a little bit that might make up a possibility that this could actually be an episode 2 variant of the Acclamator, but still, again, I'm fine with either or. And then the next Midi-Scale set in the January wave is actually going to be a Home One, being 75405 with 559 pieces and a retail price of $70 US, and I literally cannot explain to you how happy I am to finally see that LEGO is making a Home One in some form. This set is quite literally 25 years overdue. I do not know why it has taken so long for LEGO to make this, and I know they made a Playscale one in 2009. That one does not count at all. I'm talking about an actual full-scale Home One or Mon Calamari cruiser of any type. I mean, we literally never get Rebel capital ships as LEGO sets. We just get a Tantive 4 like every 10 years, and that's it. And the Home One is literally the main Rebel flagship in the final space battle of the original trilogy, and LEGO has never made a set until now. But with that being said, I mean, better late than never, I guess, and I'm very excited to see what it's going to look like. And then the last set, and the least set for the January wave, is going to be a 4+ Mandalorian N1 Starfighter, set number 75410 with 92 pieces and a retail price of $30 US. Yes, $30 for 92 pieces does seem like a lot, but if you look at the other 4+ sets, they have very big pieces and large plates and stuff because they're meant to like help kids learn how to build or whatever, and because all the pieces are so big, that's why the price per piece ratio seems so bad. But besides that, I literally have nothing else to say about this set because I really don't care about it. If you care about it, here's the information. Anyways, now moving on to the new rumors that have surfaced in the past few days. It's unclear when these sets are going to release. We know that these most likely won't come in January, so my best guess is that they're going to end up coming in March. And also, like I said, the January wave is pretty much confirmed. These 3 leaks I'm about to talk about, however, are still 100% rumors and up in the air, so they're liable to easily change, and they're also liable to maybe not even be true, but I'm still going to talk about them because they are rumors that are pretty popular and going around. I'm just throwing that warning out there just in case they end up changing or not being true. And the first one is that helmet sets are actually said to be returning in 2025. There were a few in 2023 and then none in 2024, and it was pretty much said to be, and everyone just thought that the helmet line had been completely discontinued, but it looks like next year in 2025 we are getting a new one, and it is rumored to be a Clone Wars Bo-Katan helmet. And honestly, I don't really have much to say about the actual choice for this helmet. I think Bo-Katan is pretty relevant off of the Mandalorian, and it will work pretty well and sell pretty well, and I'm excited to see how it'll end up looking if it does happen to be true. Although with the helmet line in general allegedly returning, this might be a bit of a reach, but I actually have a prediction that if it does end up returning, it might replace diorama sets. Diorama sets do get a lot of hate because they are pretty expensive for what you're getting, especially the Moss Espapod race. That one was ridiculously expensive, and a lot of people just do not like these sets and they don't sell very well. And contrary to that, the helmet line does sell pretty well. Rex and Cody from 2023 are very fan favorited sets that a lot of people are buying, and because of this rumored Bo-Katan helmet and the rumor that helmet sets are returning, I think there is a chance we could see them replace diorama sets, but also I'm not 100% confident on that. I could just be reaching. That might not even end up being true. And then next up we have what is probably the biggest rumor going around right now, and that's that Jango Fett will return in some form form in 2025. And this is pretty big news because obviously the last time that we saw Jango Fett was in 2017, so in 2025 it will have been 8 years since we last got him in any form. And since it is unknown how he is going to return, and if this is obviously true or not, I have 4 ways that I am predicting that he will return, and the first one is obviously what everyone probably wants, and that is a new Jango Fett Slave 1. If they finally remade this set after what will have been, I think, 22 years, it literally would probably make the whole entire community go crazy, and if that does end up happening, I really hope it is in a $100 plus set. I really hope it's not like the 2021 Slave 1 that's $50. I literally do not like the set at all. I think it's an awful set because it's so small and downsized for no reason. I mean, the Slave 1 is a fairly big ship, so I think it should be within a price range of maybe $130 to $170, and hopefully similar in size to the 2019 anniversary Slave 1. And then the second prediction I have is a Jango Fett Slave 1 microfighter. This would be great too because it would mean that we are at least getting a new Jango Fett minifigure, although myself, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people, would really prefer if LEGO would just go ahead and completely remake Jango Fett Slave 1 in a full-size playset and not as a microfighter, but a microfighter is still an option. And then thirdly, I have a Corporate Alliance Tank Droid remake, or just any other Episode 2 Geonosis set. They threw him into Corporate Alliance Tank Droid, so they could easily do that again, or they could maybe throw him into a new Hailfire droid, or a new Homing Spider droid, or maybe even a Geonosian Arena set, but I honestly doubt that. If he is based off Geonosis, it'll probably be a Corporate Alliance Tank Droid, a Homing Spider droid, or a Hailfire droid in my prediction. And then lastly, the fourth prediction, and what is also kind of a rumor, is that Jango Fett will be a buildable helmet set next year, and possibly be in place of the Bo-Katan rumor, although I don't think that's the case. I think they're gonna make a Bo-Katan helmet, and if they make a Jango Fett helmet, it obviously would be a separate set. I don't think the Jango helmet is gonna replace Bo-Katan, but honestly, I really hope they don't make a Jango Fett helmet. Yes, it would be cool, but that means we wouldn't get a minifigure. So myself, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people, would rather them make any of the sets that I just mentioned before the helmet. But still, no matter what they do, it is pretty exciting to see that there is a rumor that Jango Fett will be returning next year in 2025. Anyways, and then the last current rumor or leak that we have that's going around right now is a bit of a weird one. It's actually a buildable LEGO Star Wars logo that's rumored to include a George Lucas minifigure. And this is straight out of left field and kind of odd, but honestly, I'm all for it. This sounds like an awesome display piece. It's great that we actually might end up getting a George Lucas minifigure. Again, it is rumored and not confirmed. As some of you might know, there is a George Lucas minifigure out there that is extremely rare and extremely exclusive. I don't really remember the origins behind it. I think it was given out to employees or something like that, but it is very rare and worth thousands and thousands of dollars and basically impossible to find. So it is really cool that if this ends up being true, there will be one that is readily available. I think it'll pretty obviously be an upgrade from the one that's out there right now because it was made quite a few years ago and have significantly more detail and looks significantly better. And as for the buildable LEGO Star Wars logo goes, I mean, it's pretty much self-explanatory. It seems like we're just gonna get a brick-built LEGO logo and a brick-built Star Wars logo, or maybe it's just a Star Wars logo, I'm actually not sure, but still, it sounds pretty cool. And honestly, by its description, I do have a feeling that this could actually end up being the May 4th GWP, but who knows, it might actually end up being an official set. Anyways, guys, that is all we know about LEGO Star Wars in 2025 so far. If more leaks and rumors surface, of course, I'm going to make more videos covering them, but as for now, this is all that we have. Let me know what you think about all these leaks and rumors down in the comments below. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and if you want to check out more of my videos, you can see them on the screen right now.